What's going on, everybody? Good afternoon. Hope you guys are still doing well on this Wednesday. And I want to talk a little bit about this article that Pro Football Focus put out. I think this was a few days ago. So, a lot of you guys that read Pro Football Focus, you've probably already seen this article. Nevertheless, I did want to talk about it because I found that the results of Pro Football Focus's research to be very interesting and compelling and might kind of teach us something that is surprising on some level. And maybe it shouldn't be, but when you see it put together by a media source that is trying to be objective, and I know they don't necessarily always get it right. It's impossible to always get it right in situations like this, but I think it makes you look at things a little bit differently when you see something like this. So, Pro Football Focus put out this article a few days ago, clutch quarterback play in 2025, ranking the most clutch players at the quarterback position for that season, and they ranked the most clutch quarterbacks. This video is sponsored by Prize Picks. So, what is clutch? Clutch tends to be, in many cases, it will end up being something that people lean on when they don't know how else to defend or prop up or argue in favor of a particular player, typically a quarterback, but you see it all the time in basketball or pretty much any sport. So, what Pro Football Focus is trying to do is make more of a unified understanding of what is clutch and therefore who is clutch. So if you go through the article here, I'll skip the initial highlight reels talking about what clutch is. So Pro Football Focus is basically looking at quarterback play using Pro Football Focus grades and a variety of advanced metrics in clutch situations, which is fourth quarter or overtime when a team is trailing by 14 points or fewer or leads by 8 points or fewer. So it's a lot more generalized. Like a lot of people just look at game-winning drives or fourth quarter comebacks. This is looking at all situations where the game is still in doubt late in the game and what that quarterback is doing. So ideally, it's a bigger sample size than just comebacks and fourth quarter game-winning drives and stuff. So they only ranked 5 quarterbacks in terms of who they thought was the best in the clutch, and you can kind of see their criteria for how they did it. Number one, and this is compelling, this quarterback, Dak Prescott, did not make the playoffs, did not have a winning record. They still ranked him as the most clutch quarterback in the league by their criteria. And you can see why they may have done that. He had 9 big-time throws against just 4 turnover-worthy plays while averaging 8.1 yards per attempt. And 9 big-time throws is a lot, by the way. For those of you who don't remember what a big-time throw is, Pro Football Focus, they look at the context of the throw. Is it a tight window? Is it down the field? Things like that. It's a little bit more abstract than the typical Pro Football Focus stat, but 9 in clutch situations is still a lot. And he consistently stacked positive plays, earning a positive grade on 31.2% of his snaps, the 5th highest rate among any all qualifying quarterbacks. So there's more going on here than just winning and game-winning drives and touchdowns. They're trying to be a little bit more exhaustive, and I think that's always a good thing. If you like sports, then the best way to make them even better and more exciting is using the Prize Picks app, where it always feels good to be right. Prize Picks makes daily fantasy simple. Just pick more or less on your favorite players and build lineups with a few taps. Whatever sport you're into, and obviously we are now firmly into the NFL offseason, so we're all about baseball. We got some basketball, we got some hockey, whatever it is you like. Prize Picks gives you a fun way to stay locked in while you're watching. Definitely make sure to use the promo code HMA. Prize Picks is hooking up users with $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. If you use that promo code, that is HMA. I've had a great time on Prize Picks so far, so definitely get on over to it, check it out, and make sure to get your lineups. And don't forget about Team Picks, where you can pick winners, spreads, and totals on any major game. So download the app now, use HMA, and get on over to Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. And remember, always gamble responsibly. So you go through their list, and it's a short list because it's just 5 guys. Number 2 is Matt Stafford, like just barely behind Dak Prescott in passing grade, by the way. And then number 3 is Lamar Jackson, another quarterback that did not make the playoffs last year. So you can see how they're going deeper than just saying, oh, well, this guy did this in the playoffs and this guy did that. No, they're actually trying to look at each individual play and understanding that a clutch moment can happen in the regular season, same as the postseason. So with that being said, number 4 was Sam Darnold. Number 4, and maybe this shouldn't be surprising for the quarterback that won the Super Bowl last year, but as you can see, this list is not necessarily prioritizing quarterbacks that make deep playoff runs. So this implies that there was something else working here. And hey, that's the compliment you can hand a quarterback, right? Like, we know that Sam Darnold is not one of the best quarterbacks in the league in the sense that he's as good as Josh Allen or Pat Mahomes or any of those guys. But if he can be a clutch quarterback, and I talked about this a little bit last year, then we don't necessarily need that quarterback because this team, this roster is so good. So if you look at their write-up, Sam Darnold posted 0.89% turnover-worthy play rate, 7 big-time throws against 1 turnover-worthy play across 103 clutch dropbacks. So he actually had a lot of reps here. So he did not make mistakes. He didn't have a huge big-time throw rate like I think Dak Prescott did, but it was fine. And I'm guessing the 1 turnover-worthy play was probably the fumble, I want to say, against the Niners in week 1. Maybe it's another play, I don't know. Hard for me to really look that up. But either way, 1 turnover-worthy play across 103 clutch dropbacks is pretty remarkable. And he was also top 3 in accurate throw rate in these clutch situations. He only had 8.9% of his plays were negatively graded. And yards per attempt, he was also doing very well, 5th in the league at 8.4. So you have accuracy, efficiency, and ball security. So that is very clutch. And by the way, he's half a point behind Lamar Jackson. And by the way, the list rounds out with Josh Allen. So that is a quarterback that did make a little bit of a playoff run. But again, you can see that that is not what PFF is looking for here. They're looking at their objective markers of what makes a good quarterback. And when you take a look at the 2025 Seattle schedule and you think about the games we played, and you think about the criteria Pro Football Focus is using, it does make a good deal of sense. Like, okay, the 49ers game obviously didn't pan out, but there were still good throws and there were still good moments in the fourth quarter of that game. They just couldn't quite finish at the goal line there. But putting that game away in the fourth quarter in Pittsburgh, the Thursday night Cardinals game, that was actually very clutch because Sam Darnold kind of had to lead 2 game-winning drives because Myers missed the kick on the first drive. Tampa Bay didn't go the way we wanted it to, but it wasn't his fault, and he did have a touchdown drive earlier in the fourth that would have won the game if our defense was competent that day, putting the game away against Jacksonville. As much as the Rams game was a disaster for Darnold, he did put together a couple of good drives in the fourth quarter to at least give the team a chance to come back and win. Of course, the Colts game leading some scoring drives at the very end. And of course, the big one, the Rams game. As much as he didn't play great in that game, the fourth quarter and overtime, he did what he had to do. And then you've got the NFC Championship game, which I'm assuming factors in here. I know we didn't score. I don't think we scored any points in the fourth quarter in that game. Regardless, he still picked up several first downs in that game that put it away and allowed us to ultimately not allow their offense another real opportunity to go win. So, I mean, when you look at it, it's something that you don't necessarily always notice in real time, but it was a pretty clutch season, and we've seen clutch seasons from quarterbacks before, right? We've had quarterbacks that have come through for us in big moments, like I don't know if he still has like the record for a 10-year run, but Russell Wilson in the fourth quarter was always keeping the team alive, generally speaking. And Geno Smith had the one year where he broke the all-time record for fourth quarter comebacks. So we've seen clutch quarterback play before, as defined by playing well in close games in the fourth. And you go back and look at the 20 games we played last year. There was quite a bit of that. So meaningful. All right, so that's fun. And I think we all kind of had some general understanding of the fact that Sam Darnold was playing well in big situations, but it's good to see an objective evaluator, or at least trying to be objective, come to the same conclusion, telling us that we're not crazy if we believe that. All right, I'm going to go and get on out of here. I will see you guys later. Go Hawks. I might do another video later today, might not, we'll see. But yeah, Sam Darnold may not be the best quarterback, but he is a clutch quarterback, and that's all this team needs right now, because we are not one of those teams that needs a quarterback to carry us. All right, go Hawks. See you guys soon. Everyone have a good rest of your day. And yeah, good stuff.